Hello, everybody. It's HeroicLegend here. Yeah, we're here. We're here for the dual triangle. I actually have to make a new deck so I can get each of the 1500 ones for these. If I want to put myself through that torture, quite frankly, I only need 12 more wins. If you're curious about the deck I was using for Fusion, I just went with something a little silly because I did throw in these two. But yeah, DP, Dragoon and Exodia with a little bit of Nightmare Magician as backup. We have Heart of Gaia, which was one of the new supports that came out for Millenniums. I thought he would actually be really useful for countering the synchros, but you know. Now, because I think Link is going to be easier due to the fact that we have Scareclaw, I'm going to just go ahead and start on a Link, because there is one Link deck that I keep trying to make work. And maybe it'll work this time. I have no clue why that keeps happening, but it just does. He's such a useful pocket option. But no, I think we're gonna go with what I had planned. One, two, three. What are you doing? Show a bunch of control, and if you do, blah 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 blah, and you can banish this card, special summon, yeah. One, two. One, two, wait, or was it you? No, it was Torrid. And then we need Visas himself, who is a little further up, I think. Two copies of him. We also need you. I'll put in the third copy. For the sake of having a little more to do, we are going to go with a very small bestial engine. We could also make use of this. We will be putting in... no, not that. Only 2 regains. We only need the one. We only need the one. If they get rid of the ones, whatever. Was it Baldrake that if fusion blah blah blah? Yeah. Maybe it's Saranir? No, wait. There was a trap card. I think it was. No, we don't care about that. I think it was Retribution. You can also do that as a little, like, extra kind of shenanigan. No, that's too much teching. And the extra Baldrake is fine, because we're going to make use of them using Samsara, or using this thing, where there's quite a few synchros we can get involved with this. I think we're going to go heavy on the non-hand trap counters for board breaking with one lightning storm. Do I want to go for more here? I don't think we need to. Quite frankly, hand traps feel very not fun. You. Do we have enough? Actually, we do, because we have 8s. We can't make Nova because she counts. So if we want to make Nova, we would have had to make something else. And we would need Red Dragon, Archfiend, and 2 tuners. Which is actually doable. Funny enough. We could put in... We could do that. We could make that work. We could make that happen. little bit of tech there. 2 grannies. Let's go here. I should have 1. Correction, I have 3. Another one that's also kind of possible is this guy here. Present in your graveyard, yada yada, we don't care. I think we have a good 6-star synchro, and maybe we could put in the big boy as well. Oh yeah, we do! Oh no, never mind. Coral Dragon is a... Wait, is he, or am I gaslighting myself? I know we have Red Rising, but that requires Fiends. We don't have Fiends. Yeah, Coral Dragon would be better. Actually, let's look at the ones that I don't have that are 6. Oh yeah, there's always Brionic. Brionic just kind of is good for getting rid of options. It costs 30 though. Oh, I didn't realize he was a UR. That's good on you then. Well, you know. Yeah, we'd probably only be getting Tri-Edge. Which would... I mean, drawing a card wouldn't be the worst thing. So if we're going for tech, we go for Tri-Edge. But if we're going for Tri-Edge or Brionic... Staying on the field is another thing. I think Tri-Edge... That's the best chance staying on the field, plus also being light attribute helps out a little bit more than being water. So, I think we go for him. Yeah. Alright! Well. Mud dust! Alright, here we go. And then we just drop the level. There we go. I kind of feel okay with how this deck looks. It's definitely gonna be a little bit rough, but hey, hopefully it does alright. I can't believe it actually took me 7 minutes to make this deck. Holy crap. I really don't want to start a match because sometimes matches can span way too late. So this is going to be more of a deck profile than anything, and I'll explain my thought process. So as is always, whenever I play a Mandanium deck, I like running 3 Tauroids, because Tauroids can not only bring out itself, but also its other tuner allies. Well, Fairy Support actually could have worked here too, I guess. Reinhardt. Oh, actually, yep. Nope. Those are some cards that I forgot to grab into. We're gonna up it to 50 because I feel like 50 is a little bit better for the deck. Plus, it just I feel more comfy with it. So we are gonna put in like some potential secret text too. Like I like having Nightmare Magician. 3 Ash Blossom feels. And 2 bells. Ah, screw it. Another Raigeki. I'll have 3 Raigekis. Reinforcement of the army. And we'll round it off with 2 Imperms as well. I thought about putting in You're Finished, but it's sometimes really annoying to get, you know. Plus, with the heavy search power of the Mandaniums, it's not that bad. So let's go over the deck right now, right? So, Fearless. All of these cards can come in as long as a monster with this stat line is on the field. So, Reinhardt, with no buffs, etc. And or if we control star visas. So I believe that goes for both Samsara and himself. But again, we keep him at 2 because we don't want to... We can search him out, is the thing. Fearless is if this card's destroyed by blah, blah, blah. All secret monsters you control gain 500 attack. This is a permanent... Oh, during the battle phase this turn. Yeah. I don't know if that's a permanent 500, but it is. It's an okay one. The 500 extra boost is always nice to beat over things. Plus, on top of that, if we have the field spell out, it's good. Meek, we like just because of the fact that we can up its level. So if if we need to get an 8 out, like again, Archfiend, or Samsara, or Amarita, we can do that with just Meek's Destruction Effect, and then Rhymeheart, or again, Samsara, I think. Yeah, Samsara also works here. Oh, okay. And Torrid, which is my favorite, is able to get out any of the others with its own Destruction Effect. So long as we're popping it using the effects of Abisaba, it should be alright. We can also use it, we can also bring out basically by using Visas' effects as well, which helps out a lot. So it's probably part of the reason why they aren't light attribute. You already know why we have the Ash Blossoms and Ghost Bell. Rhymeheart is, of course, our Visas stand-in because, you know, yada yada, the story, etc. Of course, he also has an ETB effect. Or I can target a Mandaean monster I control, or one monster I control with, and special summon it, which means I can, once again, trigger these effects still. He's useful for also just searching out things. Samsara is here for more tech than anything, because of the fact that he also becomes Visa Starfrost while in the field or in the graveyard. And I can target any number of Visas that are banished from my graveyard, and shuffle them into the deck, and if I do, I can special summon this card from the hand, and he gains attack points for it. But I can also just throw him out. Right? And also, if I use some synchro material, he can be used as a non-tuner. So he helps out for that as well, especially if I have, again, like, if I bring out, Triscuta. And I think his tuner status also counts for if he's bought out, if he brings out, Reinhardt. Visas, you already know. He himself is also pretty strong as a card, too, just because of his, constant stat boost gaining. And if I can keep him protected, he can really be a monster. We, of course, already know the standard Bestial package with Magnum Hut, Saronir, Drewsworm, Baldrake, and, of course, the double Lubellions. I always think you should only ever have 2 Lubellions, because having a third one tends to cause problems. We have the one Nightmare Magician, because Nightmare Magician's effect, well, aside from him being Royal Flossie, he's just a very strong pseudo-boss for the deck. And because he's a main deck one, he's also a lot harder to get rid of with problem trap cards, although I don't think any of those are allowed in this event. I might be wrong, but... And on top of the fact that he can even be a defense mode wall and just, like, give us turns, also being 7 allows us to use our Ghost Girls for synchroing as well, which can help get out one of our 10s. And also being dark helps him out too. Lubellion is all you already know about the Bestials, but for just in case you don't, and you're curious, I will give brief explanation. Bestials can be special summoned by banishing a light or a dark from your graveyard, and then just out they come. They make heavy use of banishing, as well as using banishing to kind of control the board. So a bit of a stun-esque ability. They also have these 2 specifically have good effects for whenever they're taken off the field. Well, when he's taken off the field, and when you basically summon something in response. He's a very good answer, Baldrake. Saronir's just kind of here for tech purposes, which is why he's at a 1. And of course, Magnum Hut is limited to 1, and will probably never not be limited to 1 due to his ability to basically search out a free dragon monster, period. Which is often used to bring out Lubellion, Drewsworm, or Baldrake. Sometimes Saronir, but that's if you're in a really good position. Bestials also do really well in most events because of the prevalent. Well, I don't know if that picked up a microphone, but if it did, I apologize. People were being weird. Lubellion is also just really good too, because being an 8, he gives us access immediately with any of the Mandaniums to Baron, Sword Shanying, Dispatcher, which is the boss monster, and then of course Granny too, which as long as we have a single tuner, it doesn't matter. Could also give us access to Red Nova with 2 Mandaniums. Oh no, I'm sorry, he needs Red Dragon Arching, so it's no. But he can give us access to Snake Eyes with Visa Samsara's effect. Or again, 2 Mandaniums. Of course, we have the Raigekis as a board breaker, as well as Lightning Storm. Lightning Storm is basically a backup for if we don't have Heavy Storm or Harpies in the first turn and they set a whole back row. Reinforcement of the army is just to get out either... it's just to really get out Random Heart, which can help. It's also good bait. Mandanium Imaginings. This is one that I was dubious about putting in even the 2 copies of, and I'll explain why. While I do like the ability to, you know, just be like, hey, look what I got, especially if I've already drawn it. Drawing 2 and then placing 1 at the bottom of the deck is meh. But banishing the card and the targeting monster and treating it as a tuner is also pretty decent. Since while Visas counts as 1, Rim doesn't. And using him to go with either of the Mandaniums, or again, just using it for Granny, because she's also a very strong boss monster, period. It's good recursion. It's decent drawing 1. You know, even though you give your opponent a little bit of insight. It's good neutral effect. Abscission, which I only have 2 of because of its destroy effect, which is needed. It's good for either getting a Mandanium spell or trap, or just straight up proccing the effects. Also, you can special summon from your hand, which is a pretty decent effect too. We have, of course, Calarium, which is a fantastic field spell, which is why it's a UR. When you use it, you can... When it's activated, you gain a Mandanium monster or Visa Starfrost, so that's how you can search it out. Light monster you control gain 100 for each tuner you control in your graveyard, or for each tuner you control and in your graveyard, forgive me. If a tuner would be destroyed by battle card effect, you can target one of those face-up monsters and special summon it again. So it's really good for recursion, bringing back and again popping the Mandaniums, which are our main source of synchroing. Of course, Branded Regains is here just simply because Light or Dark Banishing, Visa Samsara, and Visa Starfrost, as well as any of our Bestials, which we can then use to recycle too, kind of. Looking at it, I do really consider maybe dropping the 1 copy of Baldrake to add in the other Bestial card to kind of complete the package. Yeah, let's do that. I've talked myself into it. Because we would want... Is it Branded Beast? It was Branded Beast and... Well, again, we could have gotten the Retribution for that as well. I think it was Branded Befallen. Yeah, we'll grab Branded Befallen as well, just to kind of help out with this, and I'll explain why in a moment. But yeah, Branded Regain's just really good for keeping our monsters... Well, for sending them in and out of the Banish Zone, especially if we keep looping Beast Shields. And also, it's just really nice. Oh, and also, if our opponent normal special summons a monster... I can target 1 Bestial monster in my graveyard and just be like, it's back. Which is really good for Magnum Hook. Of course, everyone knows what Imperm does. It's just a standard good hand trap to have. Breakheart. Breakheart is something that I actually like using a lot. And it's a tricksy card, which is why it's only at 1 of. But target 1 tuner or 1 synchro monster in your graveyard, special summon it. And then if you special summon a light monster, you can destroy 1 monster your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to the special summon monsters. So because we have such good options for light, and actually Triad's Master is one that can take place here since he, again, light monster with 2100, that can be used to stop a lot of annoying things, especially if we bring him back. And if Visa Starfish are a monster with that stat line you control will be destroyed without a card effect, I can banish this card instead. Which means, you know, I can keep Visas alive longer and kind of make him the hero of this. Then there's Mandating Refraining. When a spell or trap card monster effect activate, or you control a synchro monster, negate the activation, and if I control Visas, I can just destroy that negated card too. I can banish this and then target up to 3 negated monsters in my graveyard and shuffle them back into the deck. Really good for recursion, really good for stopping annoying things and popping monsters, destroy what it's 3 of. And of course, Branded Befallen. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a bestial monster, or when an opponent activates a card or effect in response to the activation of a bestial monster effect, I can target one light or dark monster in either graveyard, banish it, and if I do, negate the activation. So basically, what our back row is going to be looking like is Branded Regained, Branded Befallen, and hopefully just space open for Reframing, Break Heart, and things like that. The extra deck, of course, I already explained why I picked Triad's Master. He's just a light monster who can help us draw, which would, you know, help out a lot too. Not to mention, being a light monster, he's going to get the buffs from the field spell, etc. Of course, Triscula, who is also here because she's just great. If this card is Synchro Summon, you can target one level 2 in your tuner in my graveyard, special summon it, but negates effect. And I can target any number of tuners I control, and I can change their levels to 2, which includes herself, which means I can target any number of them and then make them all level 2. This is supposed to be to get Prime Heart attacking up to, what, 5 times? Well, 4 extra times, technically, if you want to look at it like that. Because if you somehow are able to get him out using other effects, etc. She's also a pretty good tech point as well. 23 base stat lines, also decent-ish. Of course, Red Dragon Archery is just literally here to be tuned, but he can also be some pretty useful tech as well. 3,000 stat lines are very good. Level 8 tuner means he can comes out with Visas Samsara and Visas Rhymeheart. Or again, any of the Mandaniums and one of the Bestials. Visas Amarita is just one of my, again, really cool card. It counts as Visas as well. Sorry. And if you Synchro Summon, I get a spell or trap that mentions Visas, and I can add to my hand. And during the main phase, I can destroy a monster I control, and all Synchro monsters I control gain 800 this turn. Which means he can easily boost up anything to help beat over stronger problems. Of course, guard Red Archfiend. If this card's sent from the monster into the graveyard, you can summon one Red Dragon Archer from your extra deck. So you had a Synchro Summon. Then, if this card was sent to the graveyard as Synchro material for Dark Synchro, yeah, so pretty good tuning. Wait, for a Dark Dragon. Is this Dragon? It's Dragon. Oh, I suppose Red Nova would count as it too, because he's still... Yeah. So he would also count for Red Nova. Why don't I just put in another copy of him? Hang on a second. Scarlet wouldn't be bad for this, and I'm considering him more because Red Dragon Archery is just kind of bad. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go put in Scarlet because I'd rather the versatility of Scarlet. Plus, Bestials and Red Dragon Archfiend, you know, I'll go do that probably at the start of the next video. Of course, everyone knows why Baron de Fleur is in here. Everyone knows why Shang Ying is in here. Dispatter, for anyone who doesn't know, Dispatter is basically the boss monster of the Bestials. You can target one lighter dark monster by summon it to your field, so that's just period thing that he can do. When your opponent activates a monster effect, quick effect, you can target one banished monster card, shuffle it. You can target one banished card, shuffle it into the deck. Then, if you shuffle it into your deck, destroy that monster. Or if you shuffle it to your opponent's. So basically, it's either a destroy your thing or negate your thing. So you know. Prime Heart. Prime Heart's ability is really interesting. It can attack a number of times each battle phase, up to the number of tuners used for its synchro. So, again, if we're talking about using Visas, then if we're using Samsara, the max would be 3. If using Trishkula, I'm not sure if he would still count, but if he does, you get 5 attacks using Samsara, any of the extra Mandaniums, and Trishkuta. And on top of that, if you were using a Mandanium Tuner's material, your opponent cannot target this card with card effects. Now remember, it's targeting, so. In this phase, a single card in its owner's control leaves the field because of an opponent's card effects, you can special summon one of your monsters with or Visa says banisher in your graveyard. So good for bringing out Visa's right back and continuing shenanigans. Not to mention, because he's in a Mandanium, he can be brought back into the extra deck with reframing. So really good boss monster. Love the stat line. Love how kind of cool he is. He's such a sick design. Going into Chaos Angel. Chaos Angel is just general protection. When used with Visa Samsara and a Bestial, sacred monsters you control are unaffected by monsters effect activated by your opponents, and they cannot be destroyed by battle. And mind you, that's not just Synchro, that are all monsters, which means I could keep my Mandaniums on the field. Even Nightmare Magician with his effects negated would still remain on the field. And it's just, I love Grandma's effect, that's why she's in here twice, so I often refer to Chaos Angel as Grandma. I think the joke was from Syriax, who said this, like, summon skulls like mom or grandma or something, and keep running with it. Of course, Red Nova Dragon is in here just for, you know, we have an abundance of tuners, so he's just going to be a massive beat stick. Can't be destroyed by opponent's card effects. When an opponent's monster declares attack, I can target the attacking monster, banish this card if I do negate the attack, and then just bring him right back, so he's super annoying in that regard. Red Nova's just cool, and I've always kind of wanted to summon him, but the 3 tuner thing is such a big problem. But regardless, again, 500 for each tuner, can be destroyed by a card effect, and just a clear my opponent's field card? Yeah. And then there's, of course, Snake Eyes Vengeance Dragons, who I've never really gotten the chance to use. During the main phase, quick effect, I can target one face-up monster on the field, or in either graveyard, place it in its own spell and trap as a continuous spell. Also can be, also, this card cannot use this effect next turn, so basically I have to wait. And during the battle phase, quick effect, you target one monster and one continuous spell on the field and destroy them. And I think that also counts for the destruction effect, so actually, Vengeance Dragon kind of works pretty baller in this deck. I hope this deck works well. We're going to see how well it's going to work. Ooh, let's save and move. Save and move. Yeah, I was going to do this in the next one. Okay, so anyway, while we sit here and wonder what we're going to get, I want to thank you all for watching. I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, you know what to do. Much appreciated you too. Until next one, I just want to say, laters.